completely satisfied unless you get a world's record. And I think it's a good indication of what I'm going to be doing this spring. I hope it's a good indication. This is my first meet of the new year, so that's not a bad way to start out the new year.
Oh, what might have been. Since his passing, the track world has waited, watched, and wondered. Who will be the next Prefontaine?
I expect from myself to run with integrity.
He lives and he runs with passion, just like Pre.
I'm listening to my inner spirit right here.
Moving to a rhythm only he can hear.
And taking it all in and mixing it up and making it happen. It's like that saxophone, like you gotta bend notes sometimes.
Gabe Jennings.
The funny thing is when you do those things,
he might be the one.
Usually the results that you want happen.
Only 21. He just completed his sophomore season at Stanford and recently won the NCAA championship at this distance. Men's mile, world American record still held by Steve Scott, and the fastest time in the world this year, Lagat of Kenya, 3:54.97. Seneca Lassiter, one of those favored in this event.
Definitely. He came out of Arkansas last year, and I think this might be a year for him to have a big breakthrough. Last year he had the indoor, the outdoor NCAA championships, made it to the world champion, didn't have a good performance.
And then Gabe Jennings from Stanford, who redefines the words free spirit, just so happens that he shares a birthday with Steve Prefontaine.
And the list of competitors: Pyra, Koske, Mute, Jason Lund, Don Sage, a high schooler who will go to Stanford next year, William Chirchir from Kenya. There are 3 Kenyans in this event. Mark Carroll from Ireland.
And here we go. The Bowerman Mile.
Merritt McDowell, wearing number 121, who runs for the University of Oregon, expected to set the early pace. And he's out quickly on the inside.
And this is a great opportunity for the American guys to really test to see where they're at as they focus their training and their intensity of racing down to the Olympic trials in Sacramento in just a few weeks. Gabe Jennings, almost everyone feels that he is a very strong favorite to make the U.S. Olympic team for the very first time at the 1,500-meter distance. Jason Pyra was a 1996 Olympian, and having Kenyans in the race who are just starting their slow drive towards Sydney is a great opportunity for these American athletes.
Sammy Mute running in second behind McDowell. There's Jennings comfortably in the middle of the pack right now as they head down the stretch, completing the first lap.
When we talk about Jennings being such a free spirit, I think that might help him, because I think in the past some of the Americans have been a little intimidated by the Kenyan athletes and their great performances. But Gabe Jennings, I really don't think that he's even thinking about anything but what he says, the music going on in his head.
57 seconds in that neighborhood for the first 400, which is exactly what Merritt McDowell was asked to provide. 3 Kenyans behind him, and then D'Souza of Brazil in 4th. Semi Mute supposed to try and take this thing through a sub-350 mile is the goal. No one has ever run under 350 on American soil. Noureddin Mursali of Algeria, the one who has come the closest to doing so in Atlanta back in 1996 at a Grand Prix meet. Indoors, however, the record has gone under 350, but not outdoors.
Sammy Mute from Kenya assumes his role as the second rabbit. William Chirchir is running comfortably in second. Chirchir won the 800-meter last week in Raleigh.
Yes, he did, and it's amazing how you can be such an incredible athlete and you're a rabbit. But that shows how fast the great athletes are running. You've got to have someone who's just about your same strength, as Gabe Jennings is trying to move up from the back of the pack.
3 former NCAA champions at this distance in this race. Kevin Sullivan, who ran for Michigan and is from Canada. Seneca Lassiter, twice the NCAA champion at Arkansas, still coached by Coach John McDonald. And Gabe Jennings, who right now looks to be struggling a little bit. Maybe the music is not playing on key in his head, but right now he's a little bit out of touch, sort of wandering around his own space there, back in 7th place.
Mute still leads. Chirchir second. Hudson D'Souza of Brazil runs third. Then Carroll, Sullivan, Seneca Lassiter. And then we get to Gabe Jennings.
Well, this is a perfect example of how much of an advantage the Kenyans have. They have so many great athletes in their stable that these guys could be out on a training run. I mean, they probably run together almost every single day, and to be able to push each other is absolutely incredible. The second pack is just trying to catch up that has D'Souza in it and Kevin Sullivan.
Mute gives way to William Chirchir.
And Jennings really appears to be struggling at this point. Doesn't look nearly as smooth as he did a couple of weeks ago at Durham, winning the NCAA championship and helping his Stanford Cardinal team to the men's title. Jason Pyra trying to get into the mix. But Chirchir is just taking off. He looked great at the 800-meter distance last week in Raleigh. This guy is really fit as Kevin Sullivan, the Canadian from Michigan, now moves into second place. Pyra trying to also get in the mix. Gabe
Jennings fading badly, and Chirchir increases his lead. 21 years of age from Kenya, William Chirchir. Kevin Sullivan, the Canadian, runs second. And Gabe Jennings struggling badly. Listen to the applause accompany William Chirchir as he heads toward the finish. Chirchir of Kenya first.
Wow, what a great run. Did you know?
Lassiter and Pyra really turned in very solid performances considering the type of race that it was. Jennings just a hiccup in his training, we are hoping, but he just looked very uncomfortable out there with this pace and with this race. Lassiter and Pyra, though, really tried to make a race out of it for themselves somewhere in the mid-350s.
Well, you have to think about Gabe Jennings. He ran an awful lot at the NCAA championships and might be a little tired there. He's got 3 weeks to the Olympic trials to get prepared for that, but the Kenyan runners are just so smooth right now. And they're probably not even in full stride in terms of getting ready for Sydney, because a lot of them are already on the Olympic team going to Sydney.
Well, he ran to perfection, did William Chirchir.
Last week, 800 meters in Raleigh. This week, the mile at Prefontaine.
We will be back with the official results of the men's mile in just a moment. The winner, William Chirchir. Earlier today, Bill Bowerman, for 24 years, the head track and field coach at the University of Oregon, was honored with the unveiling of a statue in the northwest corner of Hayward Field. Among other Olympians he coached, Steve Prefontaine. He died last December at the age of 88. Bill Bowerman.
All right, suckers. Ears up, minds open. Message.